Today I have in shop a 1995 Mitsubishi 3000 GT computer. A buddy of mine from one of the local shops brought it over, said he's having a problem with no fuel. The top cover, the 4 screws that secure the top cover, have been removed along with the computer from the vehicle. Then I removed the 4 screws that secure the circuit board to the frame, and we're going to remove the circuit board from the frame. Now, I have no idea how to I won't say repair this, but I'll say I've recognized some common problems. And normally what we get here is on this amplifier, it's similar to, amplifier or computer, it's similar to all the other problems I've seen. There are 4 electrolytic capacitors here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. These capacitors act like batteries, and when they've been in the circuit board for a great amount of time, they tend to leak the acid like batteries and eat the circuit board up. We can see some black spots down underneath. Usually the deterioration starts on the negative side. These capacitors have a polarity like batteries. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove these 4 components, get their values, clean the circuit board up under them, look for any problems we might find, and then put new components in. Now, I've already gone ahead and drawn a map of the component layout from the board, and we have 122 microfarad at 50 volts, we have 2 47 microfarads at 50 volts, and 100 microfarad at 16 volts. Now, I've gone through and drawn them in, marked the polarity, make sure we get the positive, and these put back into the circuit in the same position. Now I'm going to unsolder these components and replace them here real quickly. Okay, I removed the 4 capacitors. I have cleaned the circuit board up and resoldered the pads where the capacitors go back in, because usually the pads, I don't know if you can see how shiny silver they are or can be in here, but I resoldered the pads, both this side or both sides of the cap. When I cleaned this area up with a sanding pen, I did find 2 open traces. They were very tiny. I put in real small pieces of wire to go through the board. They came over to this side to make connection to this side. What it was is the silver pad, like the capacitor goes into here, had deteriorated, and the circuit board trace went to it, but it was open. The second had a hairline fracture in it, or a hairline opening between the silver pad and the trace coming up to it. And over on this side, below this capacitor, I found an open trace, the pad that comes through the circuit board from the opposite side. The pad on this side of the board had deteriorated, so I had to clean it up, reopen the opening, put a piece of wire through to make the connection, and that came back through over to here. Now I'm going to put the 4 components we need to put in here. Okay, we replaced the 4 electrolytic capacitors according to the diagram that we had put together. This is going to take care of some of the problems. Depends on how good you are at determining or seeing these problems with the circuit boards, with the deterioration. Again, I had 2 traces over underneath this cap open and 1 down here below this one. These 2 were pretty clean, but it could be a variety of problems depending on which components decide to leak first. We're going to get this back together, back into the frame, back into the car, plug it in, and see how this thing works. This thing works usually about 90% of the time when it comes through this shop, so I hope this helps you with that. If you have other computer problems, again, look at any electrolytic capacitor you may have in your computer. This is usually one of the causes of many of the problems, and if you can find the deterioration and damage that they do, in many cases you can bring this back. Hope this gets you back on the road. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.